Hello everybody. Okay, so bonus video. Why why I post this video is because I don't know, I just feel very overwhelmed right now. Um yeah, and I think because like this thing is I really want to. Oh my god, this hair is so ugly. Oh my god, I should go to a barber shop or maybe a hair salon to get my hair cut. Is this too long? Is this messy? It's messy? I hope it's not. I hope it's not. Okay, I hope it's not. Okay. Would is this okay, is it okay, okay. So what should I talk about today? Oh my gosh, okay. So yesterday I was not feeling very well. I didn't sleep until 2 a.m. and I wake up at 8 a.m. So I only slept for 6 hours, and yeah. So what should I talk about today? Because later, like maybe 6 p.m., 7 p.m., I need to go to the library because I had a shitty meeting with my team members. Okay, um, I'm like we are in a competition. In competition, like it's kind of like something that you can put in your resume. Okay, so we need to we need to finish the PowerPoint and rehearsal a little bit. Yeah, I'm not really interested in this project, but like I can put it on my resume. Oh my gosh, I hate myself. I hate myself. Okay, okay. So, but that's not what I want to talk about today. What I'm going to talk about today is about my mm, biggest insecurity. Yes. Um, why do I want to talk about this? Because this is something that I always want to talk about, but um, I don't really find anyone to talk to because I just feel like I cannot talk this to my parents, and when I talk this to some of my friends, one or two person, they don't seem like very. They don't seem to understand me. That like I want them to understand me. Okay, so oh my god, this English is so bad. My English is so bad. But okay. So what? So I think the story I'm going to tell you um, shaped who I am today, and I think it explains from a lot of way that why I'm such a bitter person. I'm a very bitter, very anxious, very um, timid person. Uh, yeah. So I think the story starts back when I was in middle school. Um, oh my gosh, I look so ugly. Okay, so in middle school, I was not popular. I was not popular at all because um, oh my god, I need to sit down and talk about it. This is so sad. This is really sad. Okay. So, um, okay. Um, so the story is when I was in middle school, I wasn't very popular um, because I was very obese. Okay, I was a fat kid, and which was already a bad thing. And I was very feminine. Um, the boys in my class would laugh at me. They would make fun of me. They give me nicknames. They call me they call me princess and other things like faggot or like things like that. And it was very hurtful for me because at that time I wasn't sure about my sexuality at all. And in like it sounds cliche, but um I first heard the word like gay from other people's mouth. That's when I start to notice, okay, so there were people that are gay, and am I one? And that's when I start to realize that, well, like maybe I'm different from other people. And but I couldn't help it. I cannot change the way I am. I cannot change my voice because when I was in middle school, I have a very high pitched, soft voice, and I think I still have right now. I think people would think that maybe my voice, technically, my voice isn't very soft or like high pitch, but it's just like the way I speak is giving signals that makes me feel very. Sometimes I feel very insecure, especially when I talk to someone new. Like I would just like, wow, like does this give a negative impression? Yeah. And the second thing is, um, the boys in my class, they would make fun of my voice. They would make fun of the way I walk, the way I behave, like how I like very small details. Like when I was in like the sports class, when I like we need to run, we need to run. How to say this? We need to run on the playground, and when I run, like the boys in my class would laugh because I had a very funny running pose, and it was really I don't know, at that time I was so scared and I was so ashamed of myself because I couldn't even run like other boys, and I didn't walk like a boy. That was just so scared to me. That was just so scary to me because I didn't know how to fix it. I even tried to copy other boys, like how they walk, how they run, how they speak, but you know that's not going to work because I was not a good actor. And sometimes the boys in my class, they would follow me when I go to the washroom, because and they would just stop me in the men's bathroom because it was like, okay, you'll go to the wrong bathroom, okay. Or sometimes they were like, okay, like pull your pants down, like let me see if you have a dick, things like that. uh in That was a very traumatizing experience for me because the teacher at my school, they didn't do anything about it. I think they didn't even know about this. um and the funny thing is, um in my last year of my middle school, the teacher like had a conversation with me, which basically she told me to stop behave so weird. Because you may not know, like in China, like dating is like dating between a boy and a girl in classroom is like prohibited. And my teacher at that time, she thought that I was dating one of the girls, although she was just my best friend. And yeah, and basically my teacher warned me not behave like this, otherwise she was going to call my parents, and I was really scared. So that's another story, but basically I I couldn't find help from anybody. I couldn't find help from the teacher from school. I couldn't tell it to my parents because my dad, he's a very masculine, traditional man, Chinese man, and he hated me for behaving like this. I remember that like one time my parents and we were at a restaurant having dinner. It was a Friday night, and I ordered a can of Pepsi. Mm, and I asked for a straw, and I just drink like this, you know. And my dad was pissed because he felt like this was not a masculine way to drink Pepsi, and he just he just shouted at me to change, like in public, and it was so loud, and I just felt so scared, so embarrassed, so ashamed. And I noticed that there was a group of other teenagers. They saw me and were laughing at me. At that moment, I just feel I just want to die. I just want to kill myself. Um, yeah. So at that time, I just felt completely alone. Not just alone, but I always believed that there was something wrong with me. That And the worst part is I don't know how to change it. I cannot change it. I don't know how to change it. I tried and I failed. Um, and the only thing I can do is just to live with it. And it was so painful, and I don't know how to cope with it at all. So, um, I had like very bad habits in middle school, because since I know that if I go to bathroom, the boys in my class will follow me. So I stopped to go to bathroom, but that's not impossible. If you drink water, you have to go to bathroom. So what I did is I stopped drinking water in school. So then I don't need to go to the bathroom at all. And also like in the cafeteria during lunchtime, it's very awkward to not have one to sit with you, and I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends in middle school. So for the first year, during the first year, I sat by myself in the cafeteria, and it was just not a good feeling, because I feel that people were like pointing at me and say, okay, this is like the gay one from class 1. And it was not a good feeling at all. And to avoid this kind of attention, I just stopped going to cafeteria at all. I skipped lunch for through my whole middle school and my high school as well. um yeah. And I was just super insecure during my school years. And when I graduated middle school, I felt so relieved, and because I was like, okay, this nightmare finally end, and I can finally have a chance to reinvent myself, to restart. And I know that if I don't have a guy best friend, I'm going to get bullied again in high school, and I don't want that to happen. So I I tried to act like a different person when I was in high school, and I gave myself a goal. That is, I need to make a guy friend as soon as possible. And I met this boy. He just he sat behind me, and very luckily, um, we lived very close in the same neighborhood. And yeah. So we just kind of became friends, but mostly it's just me initiating activities, go to cinema or something like that. And sometimes I let him to copy my homework, or like try to tutor him, because he didn't pay a lot of attention at school. So I just feel like more useful, like I feel useful. And I feel that if I was useful to him, he would be nice to me. But apparently, friendship doesn't work like that. I think he never really treated me as a friend because he soon found other better friends, like more, how do I say this, more more masculine, like more like boys, and they became friends, and I felt like I was just abandoned. That was a really funny moment. That was really funny. Now think about that. But at that moment, I felt so sad, so betrayed. I feel very betrayed and very sad because I tried so much, you know. It was the first time I really want to have a friend, and I really kind of gave my all. But I just feel that that person must see me as a joke. That's terrible. Okay, that's terrible. And yeah, and then I didn't have a friend for a very long time, and I think it was like the last year of high school I finally made another friend. She was very nice to me, and she was very nice to me, and we had a lot of fun. Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically everything of my middle school and my high school. I think although it was just 6 years, and there were like happy moments, but most part of it is just very dark, very lonely, very scared. I feel if I'm not born in China, if I'm born in some like North America or like Europe, things would get easier because people like they kind of have this idea to respect the difference, and they are just like more open on this matter. But yeah, I feel that this experience really changed me because I wasn't like it really um I think till today it makes me feel very insecure about my sexuality and the way how I'm being perceived. I'm I feel very uncomfortable of being perceived, and even though I'm not homophobic at all, but I'm worried about being other people being homophobic to me, and I tried so hard to look gay, or like try to just look normal and like normal person, although I know it's not a right way, it's not a right thing to say, but that's just how I perceive myself and how I believe that other people perceive me. So I think it really makes me a very, how do I say, like really insecure person. Yeah. So that's all. That's my story. That's my lore. That's my lore. Um, yeah. It feels good to talk about it. Yeah. Bye bye.